How's it going? It's Harrison Burns here again, and today we're interviewing Stephen Rodriguez. Stephen, would you please give me your age for the record?
16.
All right, Stephen, I have a couple questions for you today concerning one of the, let's say, most challenging points in your life up to this point. I wanted to talk to you about your homelessness and how it affected you, the things you went through, and things that we can do as normal people to help those in need. So, first off, just give us a brief overview as to how you were homeless, how it started, what was the root cause of it, and what was it like? What did you have to go through? What were the big challenges you faced?
Um, okay, well, I didn't have to experience it when I was like a baby per se. Um, we had a rough living when I was young. I was kind of born into it, I would say. We had rough starts when all of my siblings and I when we were young, because my mom and dad were just kind of not good. Um, so I would say around elementary school time, I couldn't give you a certain grade. I would say around like third, fourth. Uh, we, my mom was just kind of trying, but not very hard, and we ended up losing the apartment that we were in, and we had to. It was for a few months. I would say like 1 or 2 months and like a half. And then my aunt took me.
Hmm. What would you say that the worst thing you had to face when you were homeless was?
Um, I would say the worst thing for me was just, I guess, hungry, hungry and like dirty. You know, it's not. I mean, when you go to school, I barely went to school too, because we didn't have um a way to get me there. Um, but when you go to school and like compare yourself to all the other kids that are there, all the other kids eating lunch there, all the other kids wearing like new, nice, brand new clothes, and you're over here sleeping in a tent or a car. It's on the ground at a park. It's really not. It's not fun, and it at such a young age, it really just ruins your mental health, and it hurts, and it's really hard. Um, Seeing those kids have everything that you don't. Right? I barely had food to eat, and it was real hard. I think that would be the hardest.
Well, my next question is that it kind of pertains to having the children around you or the teens and adults that you had around you who had all the things that you didn't. But what about the ones that were dealing with something like you? Did you know any other teens or any other kids that were dealing with homelessness or that were dealing with problems in the home that would put them out on the street?
Yeah. I knew a few kids who were there. Some were a lot older than me. Like I would say I was, I don't know, around fourth grade, and they were up in like eighth grade and whatnot. And they were in basically the same situation I was. Their parents sucked, and they ended up losing where they lived before, and they stayed homeless for way longer than I did. And it was kind of, I wouldn't want to say comforting, because that situation isn't comfortable. It's not, but it's, yeah, it's not even comforting. It's not. It's real sad to see kids that young going through that. And they always kept a smile on their face. They always tried to be enthusiastic about it, but there's really nothing you can be happy about in that situation.
Of course. Do you know what the root cause was for them? Because you said their parents screwing up, but
Um,
were there
yeah,
any other causes?
I think one of them, their dad was in prison, and their mom just kind of stopped paying rent on their apartment, and they ended up getting kicked out. He had basically the same situation as I did, but he was older. And the other one decided to run away. I knew two people around my age who were homeless. One of them ran away, and then the other one lost where they were living.
Hmm. Beyond this point, what are some of the ways in which that we can help teens like yourself who were homeless? Obviously, the biggest one is give them a home, give them a place to go home to.
Yeah.
But beyond that, were there things that you realized that you were missing out on, or things that you realized you really needed when you were homeless? What are some of the ways in which normal people can kind of help, and things that we can donate or things that we could do?
It's I mean, there are a lot, but I would say getting us to school is probably, I mean, I was younger, so I wasn't thinking about that at the time, but looking back at it, I would say getting us to school, getting us what we need for school, would would have been my priority if I was in the right mindset at that time. But I mean, I was younger and all that, so I wasn't worried about it. But I know the older kids that I knew were worried about getting to school, um, getting an education. At least one of them was. And I mean, that's a big thing, getting an education, because a lot of these people out that are homeless or on the streets don't have the best education. And if you can help younger kids who are out on the street get an education, get a better education, it'll definitely improve their chances in life. I wish I had that back.
Hmm. Is there anything else you'd like to say concerning your home situation or anything that you went through? Is there anything else you want to share?
I mean, just it's hard and it's gonna be hard. There's nothing you can do to help yourself. Like, no, I mean, like I said, those kids tried to laugh about it, be happy, but I mean, inside it just tears you down, and it's real hard. But I mean, I'm in a home. I have food. I have clothes. I'm doing really good with life, and I'd say just push through it. I mean, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard, but you can push through it. And I mean, God can help you. God will be there for you. You just gotta push, try a little hard.